Hi, it's Adam Binks here from KPMG in New Zealand. I'm Head of Talent Acquisition. Just wanted to share with you a few insights from our recruitment process through the early part of 2020. So overall, the market has been relatively similar for us in that we wanted to go out and continue to recruit a large number of our graduates in this March and April and early May period of 2020. We were lucky enough that we'd managed to get onto campus, particularly down to Dunedin a few times in March before the lockdown conditions were enforced. So we did get to meet with a lot of you and engage with a lot of you before our recruitment process started. But then clearly as it did start, everything had to go online. So we will have interacted with you virtually in terms of our assessment days and interviews and offer phone calls and things like that through the course of the early part of 2020. The other thing to say is that we have actually seen an increase in applications year on year, so more than this stage in 2019 and more than this stage in 2018. And that's mirrored by the fact that we've also been in a position to extend more offers year on year than we had in 2019 and 2018. We always leave room to come back onto campus though later in the year, so August, September and October, to fulfill any additional roles that we might have available. And that's still the case for 2020. So whether that's virtual or in person, we really hope that we're going to be able to do that in person, obviously a little bit later in the year. It might be that there are slightly fewer roles because we'll have to obviously look at business conditions and how many people we will need to fulfill those roles as we get into the early part of 2021. But at this stage, the view is it's not going to be massively dissimilar to our intake for 2020 and 2019. I mentioned engagement, so we're working really hard with the university to make sure we can continue to engage with you virtually. So whilst we won't necessarily be on campus, certainly in this semester, we'll be at virtual career fairs, and we hope that we'll be able to continue some of that if we need to throughout the rest of the year. But obviously the hope is that we are going to get to connect with you in person at some point during the closing part of the academic year. A closing comment from me would be that we have seen a bit of change in the marketplace. So there are some firms that may have held off slightly on recruitment. We see this every year with the law firms recruiting slightly later than the accounting and consulting firms. So we know that your plans might change. So the one thing I would urge you to do, if you have accepted a role with an employer that you would see potentially as a backup during this part of the year, and you get that dream job a little bit later in the year when employers are all back on campus, if you've accepted that offer elsewhere, please pick up the phone and have a conversation with the employer. And if it is the right call for you to renege or withdraw from your offer, most organisations aren't going to hold that against you in any way. We certainly wouldn't. But the thing that you're going to be able to do is potentially give one of your peers, your university peers, an opportunity who missed out on a role in this early part in the year to pick up that opportunity later in the year. If you do have any questions on multi-offer situations or just want some advice on the general market, please try and find us on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or on our careers page. More than happy to link in with you, answer any questions that you may have. But for now, I hope you're staying safe, and we hope that we'll get to see you a little bit later back on campus at the back end of 2020. Thank you.